Sometimes I sit here and I talk to other people and we have these conversations. And the number one thing is I wonder what people are thinking who are illegals, who know they're illegal in this country, who, even if they have children, especially, what are they thinking? What are you thinking when the president has made this his number one priority? And the president says, self-deport, and we will give you money. But if you don't, we are still going to come find you and we're going to kick you out of the country. You're not going to get anything and you'll be barred from ever coming back. Knowing that you have children that are going to be traumatized, if the police have to come into your home to take you away, why are you putting them in harm's way? What are you thinking? How selfish must you be? At least in another country, especially a country where you speak the language, you stand a fighting chance. But also there was a path to redemption. You could have applied like the rest of us and came to this country the right way. But instead you wanted to cheat the system. You wanted to steal from Americans. You wanted to fraudulently fabricate your existence here in this country. While the rest of us have to play by the rules, you think you're better than us. You're above us. And I can understand why you think that. Our officials need your vote and they've pumped your heads up and they blew smoke up your ass. And for many years, we did not properly enforce our immigration laws. But when you know Trump is serious and you're seeing what's going on, what's taking you so long to self-deport? Why are you putting your own children in harm's way? Matter of fact, I think before we get into the main video, let's go ahead. I think this right here is causing a lot of problems with illegals as well. Take a listen.
Year 2026, meaning Democrats have a chance to regain some power. You ran such a successful campaign, energizing young, disaffected voters. What is your advice for the party at this point? How can they connect with the way you did with young voters? I mean, I've seen so many young people that voted for the first time because they wanted to vote for you. How does that translate to the Democratic Party?
No, I think oftentimes there's a condescension that people have when they talk about young voters. They kind of finger wag, they lecture, they tell people you should just get out there. We don't actually ask them what would it take to bring you out here? What would it take if we went from lecturing to listening? And when I talk to young people, what I hear from them is they feel like the only way they can stay in the city is if they keep living with their parents or they leave the state entirely. And we have to make it a place where they can actually aspire to dream in this city and also treat them with the seriousness that they deserve. Because what we'll find in our young people is leadership. We always hear stories of parents who bring their kids to the polls. I met a lot of grandparents who told me, my grandkid told me if I don't vote for you, they won't let me home. I think it's a reversal sometimes of who's leading. And I think that can come if we give people an opportunity to tell us what it is they want to see in their politics.
Well, Mr. Mayor, in light of recent events, there have been renewed calls from prominent Democrats to abolish ICE. I want to know where you come down on abolishing ICE and if you believe that ICE has any legitimate law enforcement role.
I am in support of abolishing ICE, and I'll tell you why.
And that's all I needed to hear. I don't want to hear the rest of it. It doesn't make any sense. As long as our country has borders, we will have immigration and customs enforcement, period. Now, this is the thing. He is a foreigner. I do not appreciate foreigners coming into my country and telling us to basically erase our borders and remove any enforcement of our customs and borders and our immigration. You come here from another country. When he lived back in, where is he from? Tanzania, something like that. When he was back in his home country, I wonder did him or his family ever advocate for the abolishment of immigration in their country or the dissolution to dissolve the borders of his home nation? Let's ask Arthur. Arthur, let me ask you a question about Mandami. What country is he originally from? And was there any history of his family or himself calling for removing the borders in his country or protesting against the immigration laws of his home country?
Certainly. Let's start with the basics. Mamoudou Gassama, known as the Spider-Man of Paris, is originally from Mali.
No. The new mayor of New York, Mamdani.
Understood. Zoran Mamdani is a New York State Assembly member, not a mayor. He is born in Uganda and comes from an Indian family. I'm not
Okay,
aware
well,
of
no,
him
no,
or
well,
his family calling for removing borders in their home country. Mamdani is known for advocating progressive policies on housing, immigration, and economic justice in New York.
well, he is currently now the mayor, so you got to update your system. But I just wanted to know, is there any history of him in Uganda calling for removing the borders of that country or saying that they should not have any immigration laws or any immigration law enforcement? Why would he come to the United States and call for abolishing our ICE, but not call for doing the same in Uganda?
I'll clarify a few things. Zoran Mamdani is not the mayor. Zoran Mamdani's political activism has been focused on the United States, specifically New York, where he serves. I'm not aware of any record of him advocating for border abolition or immigration policy changes in Uganda. In fact, as a US legislator, his work and statements are largely shaped by American policies and local New York issues. People often engage differently with the politics of the country they represent, as that's where they have a mandate to act.
Does he have any family or anybody back in Uganda that were in politics or anything?
Zoran Mamdani is the son of the well-known academic Mahmoud Mamdani, who is a prominent Ugandan-born scholar. While his father has been active in academia and public discourse, particularly on post-colonial issues, there's no indication that his family in Uganda was involved in politics. Zoran's political career is rooted in New York, and there's no public record of political activities or campaigns by his family in Uganda either.
Okay, so nobody in his family in Uganda was at all writing any literature or criticizing Ugandan immigration policy or borders.
Correct. There's no record of his family in Uganda specifically writing or advocating against Ugandan immigration policy or borders. Mahmoud Mamdani's work is widely focused on post-colonial theory, African history and justice, but not specifically immigration or border abolition in Uganda. Zoran's advocacy in the US is distinct from his family's academic focus.
Understood. And again, that's my issue with these foreigners. They come to this country and they call for policies that they never called for in their home countries. So if your ideas work so well, why did you not apply them where you were born? Why are you here? And that's what makes me think that people like him or the other guy from India or the other lady that barely speaks English that they swear is an American. We did a video about her the other day out of also New York. Why are they here and not in their home nations? How do they come here, get into politics, hardly speak English, and everything they're calling for is basically to make our country less safe and weaker? But I'm not supposed to notice a pattern in that. See, because of people like Mandami saying that, we should abolish ICE, I think that's emboldening these illegals to the point where they're thinking maybe ICE will just get abolished before I'm caught. And they're gambling. But what happens when you gamble and you lose? This is what happens.
This Virginia mother was violently detained by ICE while driving her 16-year-old daughter to school because she couldn't recite her social security number by memory. She was arrested even though she showed them her work permit, her legal status, her driver's license, her social security card, and her registration.
Now, to be honest, you can get all of those things and be illegally here. You can get a work permit and it can expire, but you'll still have a driver's license. The Democrats, depending on what state you're in, they're going to make sure you have a social security number because in the United States, illegals do vote in elections. They vote in presidential, they vote in local, and we don't do audits. We do not do audits, so there's no way to stop them, and their votes are always counted. So that technically means voting is legal for illegals because there is no enforcement about it. So her having all these things doesn't mean she's here illegally. It doesn't mean she's here legally, And when law enforcement asks you for your documents, you're going to comply or you're going down. It's just like any other traffic stop. You have your license, registration, or insurance, or you might get pulled out of the car and arrested. You have to show your papers. Now, this person, she, again, if her work visa expired and she never got it renewed, she's going to be deported. And I would hope that her child goes with her. But screaming on video is not going to help. Who are you screaming for? Who are you hoping that's above the government in this country, that's going to come and arrest the government or stop them from enforcing their laws? That's not how it works. The way it works is you find a country that lines up with your beliefs and how you want to live. Then you go there. You don't stay here and make a scene and try to complain about us. And then when we remove you, you scream and yell and kick. We don't care anymore. Caring is what got us into the situation in the first place. Humoring all these different arguments from all these different people who are literally sent to this country to dismantle it. People who literally hate this country and want to form a new way of government. The people that don't want this to be a constitutional republic anymore, they want it to be some kind of weird multicultural democracy with a homosexual foundation. They say all this weird shit, but we're not having it. Now, we are going to defend our country by force. And I don't understand why these people who have children are still playing games. If you know you might be drugged out of your car and arrested in front of your child where they're going to scream bloody murder, then get them out of the country and leave on your own. Don't drag your kids through this. In my opinion, this should be another charge. Just like people that take their children with them to go commit crimes. If you got your kids in a car and you're going to shoplift or you're going to go do a drive-by shooting, I think that should be a separate charge for endangering your child and traumatizing them. Because people try to use these kids as shields. Oh, well, my kid, so you can't, that's not, no. Those days are over. Shaming us into submission by using our heartstrings is how we got here in the first place, and we're not going back to that. Yeah, this girl right here is crying. If you feel so bad about this illegal that's going to be returned, why aren't you flying to her home country and waiting for her at the airport to give her money and help her get resettled? If you really care and you really want to make a difference, help these people get resettled. Fly down to El Salvador, fly down to Nicaragua and Guatemala, and when they land, start giving them your own personal money, and let's see how dedicated you are to these people. Because talking about all this from the safety of your computer is disingenuous and is not helping them at all. Not at all. Hey, Yamel Reyes, how you doing? And I appreciate you guys all for tuning in. This is just something I keep seeing happen. I'm tired of it happening, and I think that they're literally trying to create people to get so mad that they're going to start attacking the officers more often. You're going to lose either way. We are the ones with the might, and we have the law behind us. This is not about our ideology. We're not going after our political enemies. We're going after people who are breaking our immigration laws. Being here in this country illegally is breaking our law. You might want to decide what the punishment is. That's not how it works. It's not up to you. It's up to the people with the guns and the people with the military. That's us. You don't have your own army, and you're not willing to. If you did, you wouldn't want to throw those people's lives away for what? That's selfish. Pack up and leave and then come back on your own. But if you force us to throw you out of here, then all that screaming is a waste of your time and a waste of your breath. You will be sent to a detention facility and you will be extradited to your home nation. You will be deported. There is no more negotiations. This is only going to go one way, the easy way or the hard way. Hopefully you choose the easy way. Like and subscribe, share the video. America first and America only.
I've been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.